Hello and welcome. My name, my name has not changed. My name is Isiaku Isabinta, and today, being Thursdays, we know what we do. So we get together. I get together with you, and I tell you all of these thrilling true crime stories, stories that did happen, real pictures, real people, real lives, and real crimes. Yeah, every Thursday. So if it seems like something you might like, do stick around and listen. Watch this video. Maybe at the end of the video, I'd give you a reason to follow me, to like, comment, or whatever. You never know. So stick around till the end, okay? Yeah. So before I go further, I have to give you a disclaimer. You know how we do. This video is not for children. We do not do fairy tales in this channel, unfortunately. So most of the things we're going to be talking about, is not suitable for children, and it's not suitable for you to listen to it in public out loud. A lot of terms, some people don't need to be hearing it. Use your earpiece or just watch it when you're alone or in the confines of your home or whatever. You know, we do not support, applaud any of these things, encourage any of the violence and the diabolical things that I will be talking about in this story. We do not condone it at all. I'm just telling a story. I'm just a storyteller telling the facts of the story, you know. Yeah, so we do not support any of this. Now that I've said with that out of the way, without any further ado, let's get into the story. But before then, Jim Jones. Jim Jones. I don't know if any of you know who he is, but I've known about this story for a while and it had never ceased to, like, I don't know, shock me. You know? Yeah, very ludicrous story if I've ever seen one. Usually we talk about stories where one or maybe a few people get unalive, for some whack reason, right? But here it's it's a lot more than that. Think of any number and double it, triple it. It's a lot more than that. A lot of people practically unalive themselves. I'm giving out too many spoilers. Let's get into the story. Jim Jones was, I don't know, an upstanding citizen. When he was a kid, he was going to church with his dad, and then I guess he fell in love with the church. He fell in love with, he was born again, he fell in love with everything. I mean, as a kid, you're very impressionable, obviously. So, yeah, so he loved the church. So he went to the white people's church and then the black people's church. And why I'm saying that is because all of this happened in 1970s, 1970s. So there was still a lot of racism, so there was segregation, there was different, everybody went to different churches. So he went to both churches and he decided that the black people's church, according to Jim, was livelier. The music, the dancing, people were just livelier, and so he decided he preferred the black people's church. Yeah, so he was going to the black people's church, and him being a Caucasian, a white man, it was abnormal, if you would say so. For the time, it was abnormal. So when he grew up, he decided that he wanted to be a pastor. I mean, we saw it coming, right? So he joined this church, the black people's church. He was doing great. He was like an assistant pastor, sort of. He was preaching every once in a while. That was when Jim decided he knew something. He found out something about himself. Yes, he found out that he could talk to people. Like, he has a gift. He found out that he could hold people's attention and just speak to them. And people listened. People understood him. People accepted him. People loved him. So what did he do? He decided, I'm going to start my own church. Yes. So he started his own church. And his whole thing was that black and white people are the same. So black can come, white can come. And that was the first mixed church, around there. And Jim was responsible for that. A lot of people loved it, and a lot of people, were coming, especially blacks. Yes, it was, I don't know, he even said at the time that it was the reincarnation of Abraham Lincoln, Jesus Christ, and whatnot. Yes. So he was trying to keep to his words. He was helping people. He was giving scholarships. He was doing a lot of things for his church members that drew in people, a lot of people. Yes, he was doing all of the things that you expect in a church. He doesn't support, anybody being ahead of anybody. We're all equal in the eyes of God, you know, and he was helping his church members. So what else? What else do you expect from a man of God? Jim was doing all of it. Well, except one, miracles, right? Jim started performing miracles. Yes, serious miracles. I mean, you could go to Jim's church and then you have some deadly disease, some cancer, and Jim's gonna pray for you, and cancer has disappeared. Yes, it will dissipate. Yes, so if you're paralyzed, you go there and he prays for you, and then you're up, you can now walk, you're doing just fantastic. I mean, this is unreal. People believed he was the reincarnation of Jesus. Yes, because he was doing all of these things. He was doing all of these things. Now, when a man, you know, has control of a lot of people, hanging on his words, whatever he says is what they will do. Trust me, people can get power drunk. I mean, you can agree with me. So yeah, Jim started getting power drunk. Now, the rest of the people of America that were not in line with, on board with all of the things that he stood for, started fighting him. I mean, the white people. They didn't want to be merged with the black people. They decided this movement that is starting, we don't really like it. We don't want black people to get the idea that they are equal to us and whatever. So they started sending letters and letters to the government. You know, they were painting the church black, telling the governments to probe into the church. They might be doing something wrong. They are cults, not the church, you know, and blah blah blah. And the governments were coming. They will be probing, you know, always on the lookout, trying to find out, you know, if there was something fishy going on in the church. And they always didn't find anything, but it was a huge disturbance. It was a huge disturbance. I mean, Jim Jones didn't like it at all. So he decided that, yeah, we have to leave America. We have to find our own place, you know, like kind of like the Garden of Eden or heaven or whatever you might call it, you know, in the middle of nowhere. We don't want people to interfere with this, you know, godly thing we have going on here. So Jim and his cohort found this jungle. Yes, a jungle in the middle of Guyana in South America. They decided that yes, this is perfect. It's in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's going to disturb us. I mean, we could do whatever. We can fulfill God's, you know, promises in, you know, in our lives, you know, forever. We could do it there without the interference of the rest of the world, who are, by the way, heathens, you know, according to Jim Jones. So yeah, his people agreed with him, his church members. Nobody said, no, I don't want to leave America and go to the middle of nowhere. No, all of them were hanging on his, I mean, they believed him. They believed he was anointed. They believed everything. They were eating off the palm of his hands. So of course they agreed. They agreed, according to Jim. He told them that they should sell everything they have in America and give it to the church. And each and every one of them did. They would sell all of their houses, their properties and everything, and give it to Jones, and then they're going to fly to Guyana, the middle of nowhere. Yes. So he named this place Jonestown, you know, predictably, right? Yeah, so in the church, they were living like people of the Stone Age. Yes, they built a pavilion, you know, a church, a hospital, and all that. And then they were only wearing, you know, very over one second-hand clothes. That was the kind of clothes they would buy. You know, they were living with the whole let the rich sell of everything they have and come and follow me, you know. Yeah, so that was what was happening in the church. Jim was harboring all of these people's money, but he was doing well. I mean, the church had teachers, the church had nurses and doctors, you know, and everything. So it was going dandy. Everybody was enjoying it. Everybody was enjoying it. Now, the relatives of people that are in Jonestown were worried. Like, I mean, my brother or my sister just upped and vanished to a jungle in Guyana with some man. I think she's brainwashed. So they kept writing letters to the government. You know, they were telling the government that you need to go and rescue all of these Americans that are in the middle of nowhere. This man has, you know, brainwashed them. You know, their minds is clouded. They can't see clearly. Please help them, you know, help them. So finally, the government decided that they should go to Guyana and look into it. So they went to Guyana. This congressman went to Guyana with the press, of course, and some of the relatives of the people that were, you know, in Jonestown. Now, when they appeared in Jonestown, initially they had called Jim Jones and told him that, yeah, we're coming, and this is what we want to do. We want to find out that your people are there, on their own accord. We need to find out that you're not harboring people and forcing them to be there. So James decided that maybe I have to do this to prove to people that everybody here is here because they wanted to. So he was like, yeah, Congressman, you can come in and oppress. Come on, come in and see Jonestown. Now, before they came, there was a practice of how to welcome them. Jim made sure everybody, the kids were singing, performing dramas and everything. Everybody was happy, extra happy. Everybody was happy. So the congressman was asking people, I mean, do you want to leave Jonestown? We have a plane that can take you back to America now if you want to. Everybody was like, no. Why would I want to go back to America? This place is heaven. We have every single thing we want. So now the press were there, they were video coverage and everything. Everybody in Jamestown was happy. They were like, Jim Jones is the best thing that ever happened to us. We have everything we need here. We're growing our food. We're more focused, and we're more, closer to our God. Everything is fantastic. We're very happy here. Well, we don't want to go anywhere. Now, the congressman was like, okay, I guess so. I'm going to be leaving tomorrow. So yeah, if in case any of you change your mind, I'm going to be leaving tomorrow. So, you can come along if you want. Now, sometime inside all of these activities they were doing to like welcome the congressman and his people, one or two people sent this private note to one of the delegations. They were like, yes, I want to leave Jonestown, but I'm scared. Yes, they sent an anonymous letter to one of the congressman people. Now the congressman found out about the letter. He read it and then he met Jim Jones. He was like, what would you say about this letter? There are people that want to come with us and they're saying that you don't want to let them go. So we have to, the American citizens, I have to take them home if they don't want to be here. So he announced to all of the people, if you want to leave Jonestown, come with us. Yes, come with us right now. We're taking you home, no questions asked. So a few people came, and then the rest of the people were insulting them, were crying. They were like, how dare you, you're bad people, you've betrayed your family and whatever. And everybody was like feeling guilty. I mean, more people would have left, but like, the guilt and the shame from the other people made them not want to leave at all. So a few people went into the truck that is going to take them to the air, where the airplane is going to meet them, right? So one person in particular wanted to follow the truck, and the rest of the people were wary. They were like, this man is too close to Jim Jones, like he's one of his most trusted servants. So why is he defaulting? But like the congressman, he was there for all Americans, so he couldn't tell him, no, we're not taking you because you're close to Jim Jones or whatever. So he came along. So when they went to the airstrip where the airplane is going to meet them, that was when all hell broke loose. The congressman decided that, yes, my work here is done. He took the few people, that were willing to leave Jonestown, and he went and he was waiting for the plane. He called the plane, was like, yes, we're at where you're supposed to meet us, so we're waiting for you, right? Now you remember that Jim Jones, closest guy that was defecting and everybody was like, we're suspectful. Yes, he pulled out a gun and started shooting people. He was shooting at the people that were leaving and leaving Jonestown and the congressman. Everybody was just shooting around. Everybody started to run away. If the bullet caught you, it caught you, right? And then the rest of them were trying to like look for a place to enter the jungle and hide. And then the cameraman was videoing everything. What a brave man, because he videoed everything, and then even when he was shot, yeah, he fell down to the ground and then the camera was still videoing everything that happened. Yes. Now, as at that same time, a truck full of bad guys, a truck full of people with guns, big guns, just appeared there, and then they were joining this guy to like shoot the survivors, look for survivors and shoot them. Now, according to Jim Jones, he didn't send these people. According to him, he didn't send these people. But I think me and you, we understood, even if he didn't send them, he had already planted the seed in them a long time ago. So whilst all of this was happening, simultaneously, Jim Jones, now he knew that he had already lost control. He never believed that any member of his church will have the balls to say, I'm going to leave. I mean, Jim Jones made himself their God, their father. They called him their father. He disunited all of the families. As soon as you come to Jonestown, this is no longer your mom, this is no longer your dad, this is no longer a kid. Everybody was under Jim Jones. He was their father to all of them. So everything they need, their father provides, right? Anything they need, they come to the father, medicine and whatever. So he collected all of their passports. They can't even leave even if they want to, according to me. Yes, you can't leave it. How do you live without your passport in a foreign land that you don't even know it because you've been in the jungle of the land all along? So Jim Jones decided that I cannot lose control. What a narcissist. He decided that for me to let as soon as a few people don't were able to go, a lot more people are going to want to go. Yes, he didn't want to lose his precious little slaves. So he called a meeting to the pavilion. He was telling people that, yes, I know that the congressman and his people are going to be, unalived before they board the plane. Don't ask me how I know, but the Lord told me that they're going to be shot down. And as soon as they do that, the government of the United States are going to pounce on us. They're going to bring, a lot of armor. They're going to come and, unalive a lot of us. They're going to come and, do a lot of things to our children. So it is better for us to unalive ourselves with dignity. You heard me. He told these people exactly what I'm telling you now. We have to unalive ourselves with dignity. Let it be like an act of resolution. Now we're trying to make a statement by unaliving ourselves. Like, you didn't take our lives, we laid down our lives to prove a point, kind of thing. He actually said that. He was like, we're going to die with dignity. I mean, let the government know that we only did this because they didn't leave us alone. Let them feel bad. Let us tell them that we took our lives so that even if they want to come and do us whatever it is, they're going to torture us, and all that. According to Jim Jones, the United States will come and torture them or whatever. So the easiest way is for them to lay down their lives by themselves. Oh my goodness. You would expect everybody to be like, what do you mean? We're not going to do that. That is very ludicrous. I mean, but Jim Jones had already started brainwashing these people from little to little to the whole thing. He told husbands and wives that they could tell on each other. If your wife comes to you and say, I actually want to leave Jonestown, and confide in you, you're going to run to Jim Jones and tell him because you want favors, you want Jim Jones to love you. So everybody was wary of each other. Nobody trusted each other, So now Jim Jones was telling them that they need to unalive themselves. He was asking the congregations that, what do you think? Now, this is the thing with Jim Jones. He always made his congregation feel like they had a choice. He always made it look like all of these things I'm saying is all of us that want it. And they just follow along because they didn't know any better. He's their God. Everything they want, he gives them according to them. Munchausen syndrome. You should look it up. It's when somebody that would kidnap you, and then because you've spent too much time with them, you empathize with them and you start to love them, and defend them, whereas they kidnapped you. And so now Jim Jones told these people all of these things, and then one woman brave enough to stand up and say, I don't think we have to do that. We can just move and go to another jungle where they don't know where we are. Everybody was booing her. Everybody was like, no, boo, where we agree with Jim Jones. Of course, they were booing her, and then she sat down, and nobody else could have the balls to come out and say, I do not want to unalive myself. Jim Jones had guards around the pavilion, with guns guarding the pavilion. Nobody could leave even if they wanted to. And they brought in from the kitchen, or the kitchen, yes, they brought in this Kool-Aid, super deep, whatever you call it, juice. They brought it out, in a few containers, and it was laced with cyanide. Yes, cyanide is a very, very, very potent poison. So it was laced with cyanide, and then everybody was being forced to take it. Some people took it, they took it voluntarily, yes. But other people, they had the syringe. They would draw the liquid and actually inject people with it and inject children with it. So let's say half of the people agreed and half of the people were forced. Now imagine the children. There were about 400 children as at that time. They were injected. They were on the ground. They were rolling. They were burning from inside out. They were burning from inside out. They were screaming and everybody was screaming. And guess what? Jim Jones was telling them, don't scream. You should die with dignity. Don't let people see you cry. Don't let them know that it hurts, because it doesn't hurt. I mean, have you ever taken it? How do you know it doesn't hurt, Mr. Man? People kept dropping around because the poison was working. Everybody kept dropping like flies. Now, at the end of the day, how many people died? 909 people. 909. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 909 people. I mean, this is serious. One. Now, Jim Jones himself didn't take the drink, of course. He took the coward way out. He got a gun and he just, shot himself in the head. So now all of these people unalive themselves, essentially, because their pastor, preacher, daddy, God, whatever, told them to. They did. Some of them wrote letters to their families. Some of them didn't even bother. Now, there were a few survivors, like 2 or 3 people, according to some people up to 5. They found a way to meander their way in the whole commotion. They went to the jungle, they hid. Somebody hid under the underground, and in the basement or whatever. They were hiding because if the guards saw you, they were going to obviously unalive you at the spot. Nobody was allowed to leave. Everybody must take this potion that is going to unalive them. Now, the guards, after everybody else had taken it, they had forced, the kids and whatever. They took it too. So everybody, except these few people that I said were hiding, were able to hide. Everybody else was dead. Everybody else died. Yeah, they were wearing these very cheap clothes, and then they were unalive. They were unalive everywhere. And then people, when the Guyana government when they finally came the next day, they found out that all of these 909 people were no longer alive, and they were looking. It was nobody could have predicted something like that. It was unreal to see. It was unreal to see. Now, I don't know if the people of Jonestown were brainwashed. I think what happened was that Jim stripped away bit by bit of their consciousness. So now they believed in their heart that I'm doing this out of my own volition, like I'm doing it because I want to. But all along they didn't want to. I mean, who wants to unalive themselves? Come and check it. I mean, some people were forced to take the potion, so obviously some people didn't want to. But a lot of people wanted to, because a lot of people kept coming to tell them that, do you want to leave Jonestown? Like, we could take you out of here. And they will always say, no, this is the happiest I've ever been in my life. Without Jim Jones, I'm nothing. I'm nothing. That's so extreme, fanatical. So these people did all of this because at the behest of Jim Jones. You need to tell me what you think about this case, because I for one find it very, very crazy. That is an understatement. 909 people. Come on now. That is huge. That is a huge number. Now, the people that survived, the few people that survived, they came out and they were telling people step by step all of the things that had been happening in Jonestown, and it was worse than anybody had thought. It was so much worse. Everybody was slaving for Jim Jones. That's when people knew all of the things, that the inner workings of the church/cult. That was when people knew all of the things. He collected everybody's passport, and he turned the wives against the husband. Everybody called him dad, young, old, and whatnot. And everybody was doing whatever it is Jim Jones said. And Jim was recording all of this. Yes, he had a radio that was playing whilst people were unaliving themselves or whatever. And he was talking, he was still preaching. That was when we heard him saying you should, die with dignity, don't let them see you cry. This is a revolution. We're doing some, I don't know what to call it, but he was recording it. What a retard. What Oh my goodness, Jim Jones. Religion is a very, very powerful tool, and in the wrong hand, this is what happens. This kind of thing is what happens. So now that we've come to the end of this video, do you like it? If you like it, you have to follow me, you have to subscribe or like, comment and all of it. Come on, I mean, you like it, so why not? Yeah, but you have to tell me what this story is to you. I know you're as appalled and angry as I am, because what kind of a man was Jim Jones to have done that? Who gave him the right? How dare he do that to all of these people and babies, 400 babies, children, an entire generation just poof, because they trusted Jim Jones. We need to be careful. I think we need to think for ourselves a lot more. I mean, I don't need to like dabble into all of this, but Africans, we have to wake the F up. You know, religion is good, it's great. I mean, it keeps people in check. A lot of people won't do a lot of things because their religion prohibits it. So I like it. I like that we're more reserved because of religion, but like, think for yourself, read your holy books for yourself, and stay within the conference of your beliefs. Don't listen to any other thing. Don't listen to anybody that's trying to like make you use religion to like hate on other people, manipulate other people, or unalive other people. Okay? Yeah. So yeah, that's about it anyway. So now I am going to see you next Thursday. Yeah, my special thanks is to everybody that got thus far, everybody that has been liking, subscribing, following. I see you and I appreciate you. On behalf of my family and I, we thank you. Yeah, so see you on the next video.